So how did we meet? I was living with some friends in Egham, which is just about 30 miles south of London. They asked me if we would go up to Kensington Temple in London to listen to Gerald Coates preach. As we're walking down through all of the crowds of people, I see this girl in a black leather jacket sitting there, and I think to myself as I'm walking down, oh, she's nice.
So then kind of Mark walked in the door, and I thought to myself, oh, he's nice. And then we all sat down, and I realised it was the Mark from before, because he'd changed an awful lot. I'd met Mark before, and I thought he was weird, like a couple of years beforehand.
I hadn't been given the privilege of, insider knowledge that I was going to meet Tina, because I met Tina a couple of years before, and I thought she was even weirder than she thought I was. So, if I'd have known that she was going to be there, I wouldn't have gone. So as we're going to sit down, I had this word from God. It was clear as day to me. That's the girl you're going to marry. And I sat down and I didn't hear Gerald Coates preach. I didn't hear anything during the service. I don't remember anything other than God said that to me. And I'm talking to him about it, saying, "You serious? What's the deal?"
So yeah, at the end of the service, Mark was standing up at the end, and God, it was like somebody was sitting next to me, actually, completely like that. It wasn't the head voice of God. It was somebody was sitting next to me, and I knew the voice. And it said, "Tina, this is the man you're going to marry." And I said, "He'll do nicely, thank you, God." But then, obviously, I don't know this man, and then at the end of the service, he suddenly said to me, "Do you want to come down to the bookstore?" And I said, "Sure," and we walked down. And then the next week, my friend Barbara said, "Oh, Mark's going to take us all out on a boat on the River Thames." So he was very sweet. He came along, and he'd packed a really nice picnic. 2 days after that date, he told me that he loved me. And I said to God, "Well, you've told me that I'm going to marry this man, and he's telling me that he loves me, so I need my heart to catch up here." And 2 weeks later, he asked me to marry him. And I, as an act of faith, said yes, because I'd heard God, and I knew what God had said for me. And it was over that year, before we actually got married, that my love began to really grow for him, and continues to do so.
Here we are talking about these things because we want to encourage other people that God does speak nowadays. God does miracles nowadays. They might be small, they might be big, but he's still inclined to do it because he wants to give good gifts to his children.